Hi, thanks for joining me. I'm Melanie from Yoga Within. It's hard to believe that 2 weeks ago today, we closed the studio, and all of us have been learning and practicing doing these online classes for you. So I hope you're enjoying them. Thank you for participating. Thank you for your donations, all your kind words and support. So with that said, today let's start in a comfortable seated position. If cross-legged isn't comfortable for you, you may want to try sitting in hero's pose, which is sitting up on the knees and heels, and you can move the feet apart and drop your bottom down. If that's not possible, you can use one of these blocks and sit up on the block, just to lift the hips a bit. So find a position that is comfortable for you. Just let your hands rest in your lap or on the floor. Just let your eyes close if that's comfortable. And just take a moment to follow your breath. Just let your mind ride the waves of your breath, feeling your connection to the ground that's supporting you. And just noticing without judging how that support feels today. And if you're in a place where that support doesn't feel comfortable, give yourself permission to move until you can begin to find ease in the body. When there's ease in the body, it becomes a little easier to let the mind slow down. The mind follows the waves of the breath. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. Trying to allow the tensions to melt away from the body. Allowing softness into areas that might have a bit of tightness. Allowing the exhalations to drift by. With each exhalation, try to attach a thought. Slowly allowing the mind to clear. Breath by breath, the thoughts drift by. Just like clouds in the sky. And with time and practice, the body softens, the mind slows, and the breath deepens naturally. No need to force it. And we try to welcome a moment or two of stillness. Slowly, awareness begins to return. Just letting the chin drop down towards the hollow of the throat. And begin to welcome movement back into the body just by letting the chin roll gently across the collarbone. Side to side, you may want to let that movement get a little larger, just depending on how the neck feels today. Going from shoulder to shoulder, or even extending the chin up towards the ceiling as you lengthen the spine. Try to go an even number on each side just to create some symmetry in the body, but if that's not possible, that's fine too. Just starting to wake the body up and get to know how the body's feeling today. And then let the chin come back to the center. Lift the head up, interlace the fingers, press the palms out. Lift the arms up, drop the shoulders, and look up towards the ceiling if there's no strain in the neck. Breathing, and then releasing the arms, interlacing the fingers the opposite way, pressing the palms out. You can stay there if the shoulders hurt, or lift the arms, drop the shoulders. Take another long, deep breath in, and a long breath out. Just rolling the shoulders back a few times and forwards a few times. If you are sitting on the block, take the block out, stretch the legs carefully out, and bounce gently into each knee. Just get some circulation back. Rotate into the ankles, both directions. Rotate into the wrists, both directions. And then a deep breath in, stretch everything. You may want to bend the knees, have the knees and feet apart, and go into a forward fold that feels good for you as you start easing your way into the practice. Let those shoulders drop and soften. Walk the bottom back a step or two, and then walk yourself up. One more forward fold, inhaling and exhaling. Shoulders drop. Grab the feet where it's comfortable, but remember how you hold your feet has a relationship to your shoulders. Let the shoulders draw out of the ears. And bring yourself up. Roll the shoulders back a few times, forwards a few times. And then swing your legs around. Come onto your hands and knees into that tabletop position. You can put blankets under your knees if you like. And think about that exhalation where you squeeze all the air out of the lower abdominals. Drop the chin to the chest and send the hips back to the heels. As you inhale, move the torso forward, drop the belly, lift the chest. Exhale, round. Send the hips back to the heels, draw the shoulders out of the ears. And inhale, come forward, lift the tail, drop the belly, expand the chest, squeeze the shoulder blade. Exhale, tucking from the tail, sitting back. Inhale, belly expands, chest lifts, just really warming the spine. Exhale as we tuck and go back. Take a breath or two here. You're welcome to stay here or lift the bottom, tuck the toes, and send the hips up and back as we begin to find downward dog. Let that downward dog walk out a bit. Explore moving the feet apart, moving them in, and what would feel best for you. Then bring yourself back down onto the knees. Tuck the toes, come all the way up. Make tight fists, tight, tight, tight. Lift the arms, and then let go. Shake through the wrists, just bringing some circulation back into the wrists. Once more, tighten everything as tight as you can. Working into that lymphatic system, tight, 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 and then let go, just flush it out. Bring yourself back down onto your hands and knees, tops of the feet to the floor, so reposition, find that alignment. Take your right knee off the floor and bring some movement into the hip. And go the other way. If you find that there's pain in the shoulders or in the wrists, you can always go down onto the elbows. Then take the leg out and in, out, in, out, in, pause, and then bring knee to elbow, knee to elbow, or perhaps you can bring it to your shoulder. Do what works for you. Good, pause, knee down, Toes tuck bottom to heels. Downward dog if it's comfortable. Walk it out. And then bring the knees back down. Reposition your foundation. Moving to the other side, little circles, trying to keep the hips as even as you can. Remember, less is more. It's not about doing these big circles. Think if I went and got go the other way, one of our 10-pound sandbags to put on your low back, could you balance it there? Try not to hang that head. It's a heavy head. Keep the neck in line with the spine. And then take the leg out, that fire hydrant position. Again, trying to keep the hips, the low back even. Eyes of the elbows just slightly in. Try for the same number on this side. Try not to let that other hip flare out. Keep hip above knee. And then move into bringing it to the elbow or to the shoulder. You know what works best for you. And once you've done what is about the same as the other side, knee down, toes tucked, bottom to heels. Come down onto the elbows, lift the hands, make some circles with the wrists. Keep the natural curve in your neck. And then take the hands down. You can put tops of feet on floor to child's pose, or once more, you can move into that downward dog position. Walking it out, following the rhythm of your breath. Good, and then bring your feet towards your hands, ending up in a full forward fold, or if a half fold is better for you today, if you're feeling dizzy at all, or you've got any blood pressure issues, go halfway. And just take a moment to walk that forward fold out. Notice if you're using your feet and how you use them. Lift the arches. And then as slowly as you can, walk your hands up your legs, just letting the head be the last thing to come up. And roll the shoulders back a few times. Roll them forward a few times. Set your foundation, that strong mountain pose. Take the arms out to the side. Take a long, deep breath in. Let the eyes move up to the ceiling. And as the hands lower down, palm to palm through heart center, a little bit longer exhalation. Long breath in, shoulders down, lifting from the very arches of our feet. A little bit longer exhalation, moving us into the relaxation response in our body, in our mind. 2 more long breaths in and longer breaths out. Finding that strong, stable mountain. Last time. That subtle ujjayi breath, breathing in through the nose, out through the nose with the mouth lightly closed. But if that breath doesn't work for you, find a breath that feels right. And then pause and just notice what you notice about you without making any judgments if possible. Then bring yourself up to the front of your mat. On an inhalation, lift the arms. If your shoulders hurt, put your hands on your hips. As you exhale, fold forward. If halfway is better, as always, go halfway. Lift to a long spine, drawing the shoulders back. And as you exhale, step back through plank. Remember, the knees can come down and keep breathing here. Keep your breath. Send the hips back. Try not to hang the head. Bring the knees to the floor. Put the tops of the feet on the floor. Send the bottom towards the heels. And then bring yourself up. Tuck the toes. Go to downward dog or go to child's pose. Walk it out.
You can do this from a tabletop position if it's better for you. Otherwise, lift the right leg up, bend the knee, and just make some circles with that hip. Make sure the other leg is not locked. Go the other direction. Good, pause here. Now you can put the foot down and go back to downward dog. If you're in tabletop, you can bring elbow to knee. But if you're in downward dog, see if you could shift to a plank, bring the elbow and the knee towards each other, and go back and forward, head's not hanging, back, and last time, natural curve of the neck, go back, lower that foot down, walk it out. You're welcome to stay in downward dog or bring the knees to the ground, send the hips back, slide the fists under the head and pause here. Or you can go to your elbows and rotate the wrists, see what it is you need. Then place your hands back on the ground, either go back to tabletop or downward dog. Reset your foundation. Lift the left foot off the floor. Find the circles. Keep your breathing. Go both directions. Make sure that other leg isn't locked. Soften it a bit. And then same as before, you can stay here. You can do this in tabletop, or you bring elbow to knee or shoulder. Go back, reposition your foundation if you're like me and you need to, and then forward. If you did 3 last time, try for 3. If you did 23, do 23. Take yourself back, pause, lower the leg, soften the knees, walk it out a bit, and then find your way to a standing half or full fold. Draw the shoulders down, full fold. Draw the shoulders down. Either walk the hands up the legs or walk the fingers forward, turn the palms in, and come up with the ears between the arms. Lowering the arms down. Rolling the shoulders back a few times, forward a few times. Arms up or hands to hips, bending to the left. All the way back up, softening the shoulders, and going right. Coming all the way back up, lower the hands to the hips, lift from the arches of the feet, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the center of the chest. You can stay here, or you can bring the hands to the neck, just making sure that you have the natural curve of your neck as you go into this back bend. Use your legs to bring you all the way back up. Bend the knees, send the hips back, pause here, or fold all the way forward. Work with your breathing. You might want to rock a bit back and forth. Check out your balance. Set your foundation, keep your right foot where it is, and take your left foot back, bringing the knee to the ground. Now you can use something under that left knee if you like. Good, and take a moment, bring yourself up to this lunge position. Now, if you have a block or something, it doesn't have to be a block, something you can use for balance, you may want to have it handy. And if you don't worry about it. It can even be a cushion. You think about the knee and heel being in line, the hips being squared. Then perhaps you may want to come down and bring your hands to the inside of that right knee. And again, you may need to wiggle around a bit. If you prefer the back toes tucked, by all means tuck them. Good. You might want to stay here. Some of you may find that you'd like to go down to your elbows. Now, the beauty of the blocks or something underneath your elbows is it can help you keep the weight even and keep that right knee drawing in towards the right shoulder. Keep your breath. Keep your breath. Now, if that's enough, be happy and content there. Some of you may want to take this right arm under the right leg and have both hands on the floor. Use your breathing. Some of you may want to tuck the left toes under and lift the left knee off the floor, just moving back and forth. Watch your head, try not to hang it. Good, then bring the knee back down. Bring that right hand back out. Now again, this might be enough, or you may find that you need to move your hands a little forward and a little farther apart, walking that right foot in and dropping to the pinky toe side of the foot. And again, that back knee can be down or you can lift the knee. And you may want to add a little bit of a push-up, and you may not. Pause, bring that back knee down, walk to the right foot sole, bring knee above heel, hips pointing forward, and then perhaps you want to send the hips back, coming up on the heel. Make sure this leg isn't hyperextended. Use the strength. Back down to the foot, tucking the toes, lifting. And remember, you can always use this prop if it helps with your balance and your alignment. Good. Now from here, you're coming into a half fold or a full fold. So do it the way that's best for you. You can step forward, fold forward, halfway if that's better. Feet farther apart for back and hamstrings or side by side. And then either walk the hands up the legs or come all the way up, lowering the arms down. Arms up or hands to hips, bending over, doesn't matter which way you go. Come all the way back up and go to the other side. Keep your breath. Coming all the way back up, bringing the hands to the hips, lifting the chest, opening, stay there, or lengthen, hips forward, lift up out of the low back, a smooth neck, creates space, creates freedom. All the way up, bending the knees, sending the hips back, halfway or all the way forward, it's up to you. Reset and adjust your foundation. Keep the left foot where it is, step your right foot back, bring the knee to the ground. You decide if you need that padding, you decide if you need the back toes tucked. Front knee above front heel, square up your hips. Check in with your breath, it tells you your story. And then you can bring the hands to the inside. Now, as the hands come to the inside, in order to keep my hips as aligned as I can, I have to adjust my foot out a bit. Again, you can stay here, keeping the weight even on both hands if possible. You can come down to your elbows. Now on this side, my one elbow has no weight, so I know for myself it is much more beneficial to use the prop. The knee wants to go out. I want to try to bring it in. As in warrior, it's front hip back, back thigh forward. Breathing. Then there might be some of you who choose to take this left arm under the leg, placing a hand on the ground, placing the other hand on the ground, staying here, or tucking those right toes, lifting. Use your breath. You may want to add a little bit of rocking. You know what's best for you. Try not to let your head hang. Try to move the shoulders apart. Pause the movement. Bring the knee down. Slide the hand out. And again, this may be where it's enough for you. Or you may need to move the hands farther forward, a little farther apart, and start walking that left foot in so you can come to the pinky toe side of the foot and open here. This might be where it's enough, or you can tuck those right toes, lift, and you might want to bend, you might not, or you might want to and think, no, I'd rather watch. And pause, knee comes down, foot to floor, slowly start bringing that foot back. Pause, try to find that alignment, not rushing. Really understand what is the asana like in your body today. And then perhaps sending the hips back without blocking this leg. You can always use the prop under the leg as well. Never thinking props make things easier. In fact, they tend to hold us more accountable. And then coming back, tucking the toes, lifting that right knee, finding your way to a full or half fold, the way that's best for you. Good. Let those shoulders soften. This time, either walk the hands up the legs or take the arms out to the side and bring yourself all the way up. Lower the arms down, just let them swing a bit. Go back and forth from your toes to your heels. Now here, eventually, you may find that you need to use a strap as we move into this position and eventually out to this position. So if you do want to use a strap or the strap of your bathrobe or whatever you need, you can use it around, or as we start into it, just you can put it around your neck. You're always welcome to move and use the walls. The walls can be very helpful for balance. So we'll start with the weight on the left foot and just roll to the toes of the right foot. Check out the hips and then lift that right foot off the floor. You can stay here or start to interlace the fingers and draw the thighs in towards the chest. And many of you have been in classes where we do this on the back, so we would have the floor as our foundation. If this is enough, stay there. Or you take your right hand to your right ankle and you bring so the knees are as close together as you can. You can flex the foot, or you can point the toes and give the top of the foot a good stretch. Try not to overarch the back. Stay connected top and bottom half. The left arm can come up and flex if you like. And you breathe here. Now, if you do want to go one step farther, you hold the ankle, flex the foot, point the fingertips up on the left hand, soften that left knee a slight bit, and start moving into this dancer pose, breathing here. Being mindful that it is a back bend. Use the strength of your legs. Try as best you can to square up the hips. Now, as you come out of it, try to reverse it as mindfully as you can, bringing the heel to the glute, the knee to the knee, flex that left hand. Then lower the left hand to the hip. Bring the right thigh back up into the chest. Pause. Good. Keep breathing. Bringing the hands to the hips. You can take this left hand over. Take the right hand behind and twist to the right. Breathing, breathing, breathing. There may be some of you who choose to straighten and extend the leg.
Bring yourself back to the center. Woo. Pause. And then you may find that you're able to extend the leg and point the toes. Remember, this is a straight leg. This is me with a straight leg and a back bend. So connect at the core. Then flex that foot and walk it out. Bring both arms up or hands to hips and fold either halfway or all the way forward. And just walk the forward fold out if that's what you need. You can always hold the toes. You can always slide the hands under the feet to Pada Hastasana. Just really learning to give yourself the fold that you need. Then either walking the hands up the legs or extending the arms and bringing yourself all the way up. Lowering the arms down. Go back and forth from the toes to the heels. Reset the foundation, which is your feet. Use the walls if you need. We're switching sides, so weight goes to the right. Lift the left and stay there. Lift the foot, trying to square the hips. Interlace your fingers the opposite way and draw the thigh into the chest. Remember, everything thighs to chest is part of that wind relieving series as well. Let your shoulders soften down your back. And you can stay here, or left hand to left ankle, heel to glute. Square the hips, find the natural curve of your spine. Stay there, hand to hip, or that right arm comes up flexing. You can always grab the top of the foot and just give that top of the foot and the quad a little deeper stretch. Stay there, or rotate shoulders, palms in, fingertips up, grab the ankle. If you need the strap, remember, use the strap. Micro bend in the right knee, extend back, breathing. Go to where you can go. Square those hips. Keep your breath. Use the power of your gaze, your drishti. Listen to the story your breath is telling you. As you come out, try to reverse it as mindfully as you can. Bringing the hand down, thigh to chest, pause, interlace those fingers. Really just giving yourself a moment to release that back bend that you did. And then releasing, you can stay here. Opposite hand to leg, so right to left. Left behind, a breath in. Twisting, letting the elbow bend to open the upper back. You can always extend the leg if you like. Use your toes. Bring yourself back to the center. Check in with the hips, connecting top and bottom half at the core. Extend the leg. You can point the toes if you like. Spread them. Flex the foot. Bring it down and walk it out. Bring the arms up as you take a breath in. Fold the body all the way or halfway forward as you breathe out. Take time to reset the foundation. It's your feet. Just knowing what you need. Good. Step yourself back to downward dog, but if downward dog is too much, child pose is always available for you. Remember that. Good. Breathing. Breathing. Now stay here, or if you like, lift that right leg up. Now point the toes and extend that right leg up and rotate so you're looking under your right armpit. Then try to keep the weight even. Try not to lock that left leg. If it's comfortable, bend the knee and open up. As you come out of it, you bring your gaze back, you square the hips, extend the leg, flex the foot, bring the leg down, and walk it out. Send the hips up and back.
Bring the knees to the ground, tops of the feet to the floor. Extend back. Stay here or come back tabletop. Tuck the toes, hips back. All the way up to downward dog. Walking it out. Bringing the feet back towards the hands. Folding forward. Arms out to the side, or walk the hands up the legs, coming up and releasing. Bring the arms up, fold the body halfway or all the way forward, set the foundation, hips up and back, downward dog. Tabletop is fine if you prefer to do a variation in tabletop. Set the foundation. Left leg lifts, square the hips, flex the foot. Point the toes, lift the leg. Exhale and rotate, looking under the left armpit. Weights even on both hands. Bend the knee, drop the heel to the opposite glute, breathe. Make sure that right leg's not locked. Square up the hips, flex the foot, gaze back. Pause. Lower the leg, walk it out. Work with your breathing. Bring your feet to your hands, however you can get them there, and fold the body forward. Walk the hands up the legs or extend the arms forward and bring yourself all the way up. Lower the arms down. Roll the shoulders back. Roll them forward. Feet are parallel. Keep the right foot where it is. Step the left leg back at a slight angle. Right knee and heel are in line. Square the hips forward. Hands can remain on the hips, or arms can come forward, or you can bring the arms up. Drop the shoulders down. Try not to overarch the back, just not adding the back bend this time. Keep your breathing. Slowly lower the right arm, lower the left arm, point your hips forward. Now I have to reposition my front leg. Breathing, try to lift the arches of the feet, keep the weight even on both feet. Back arm drops down, down into the front foot. Front shoulder rotates up, arm comes up and sliding over. Resist doing this. Try to really drop down. Unclench your teeth and toes. You're allowed to smile. Bring yourself back up. Now back shoulder rotates, arm comes up. Reposition feet if you need to. Breathing, breathing. Backward. Bend the back knee. Pause and breathe. Breathing in. Stepping forward, breathing out. Going back and forth from the toes to the heels. Setting your foundation, squaring your hips. Left foot stays. Right goes back. Square the hips up. I mixed it up. Good. Reset your foundation. Think big toe mound, little toe mound, and center of each heel on both feet. Again, arms here, here, or all the way up. Shoulders drop, breathing, breathing. And you know, maybe it's a day that as you hold for a few breaths, you're able to deepen by moving that front foot forward. You want that action of front hip back, back thigh forward. Front arm comes parallel to the floor. Back arm parallel to the floor. That front foot You may need to adjust. You drop down. It's as though you're pulling your legs towards each other and you have that natural curve of your spine. You can keep your hands on your hips, remember. You press down, lower the back arm, rotate the shoulder, press down, lift, and lean into that gentle side bend, breathing, 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 bringing yourself back up, arms parallel, back shoulder rotates, arm lifts, readjust. So as you come back into warrior one or Virabhadrasana, the hips are squared. Follow the rhythm of the breath. Arms can be up, remember. Back heel lifts, toes pivot, bend the back knee, smile and breathe. Lowering the arms, stepping forward, lifting as you breathe in, folding all the way or halfway as you breathe out. Reposition. Step back to downward dog or step back to child's pose. See what's best for you. Walk it out. If you're in child's pose, maybe letting the bottom rock across the heels. And then coming into child's pose. Perhaps opening the knees so the big toes touch. Sending the hips back. If you still have your prop handy, you can drop so that the bottom actually comes to the heels. And breathe here. Some of you may prefer resting the forehead, bringing the hands back, dropping the shoulders. And the beauty of the blocks is that it can change heights to offer you the support you need. From here, if you're able to bring the knees together, lift the bottom and tuck the toes, do that. If you know that a squat position doesn't work, sit down however you like. Otherwise, lift the knees, scooch forward a bit towards the front of your mat. Start to lower the bottom, pause, slide the heels out, but now you can see I'm leaning back, so I need to lift the hips and tilt the pelvis. This could be your forward fold. Maybe you go a little bit deeper by straightening the legs. But honestly, don't strive for straight legs. There's days where I get a deeper stretch in my low back here. So pay attention to what you need from the inside out, not the outside in. Then bring yourself up. As you come down onto your back, you can curl down. If you like the spinal rocks, do several of them. 12 or 13. And once you've done as many as you feel that you want to do today, stop on your back, bring your knees into your chest, and just rock that out a bit. You might want to hold your feet, bring your nose up to your knees. Just truly do what's best for you. As the torso comes down, bring the feet to the floor and resist putting anything under your head here. We'll come into a hip lift. If any of you actually do the wheel, by all means, go into the wheel. But your feet are about hip width apart, knees above heels, palms on the floor. Try to squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other. Keep the natural curve of your neck. And then slowly start lifting the bottom up off the floor. Roll your shoulders under. Think about moving your feet to your shoulders to the feet. Try not to over thrust the ribs. Use your breathing. Use your breathing. Now, if you feel your knees, it's often because the heels are tucked in too close. If you feel your hamstrings, it's often because the heels are out too far. If it's your back, just adjust feet farther apart or closer together. Now when you come down slowly, upper back, mid back, low back, bottom. Take that breath just to pause, check in. Really make sure that you're practicing non-harming. You can let the knees rock a bit from side to side. And then if you like, you can bring thighs to chest. Some of you might want happy baby. Just rocking it out. And then coming back to reposition. Now, make sure you take care of the neck, that natural curve. If you do have a strap or something, some of you may choose to place the strap on the lower shin so that you can get that sense of the shoulders not lifting, but actually rolling under. Then you slowly, again, come up. You walk the hands down the strap. Try not to do what I just did. Try not to turn your head from side to side. If your chin and chest touch, it's chin away, shoulders under, hips higher. Your breath tells you your story, so be mindful. What is your story? Use your glutes without overusing. And then slowly as you're ready, don't worry if it's not in my time, bring yourself down, take that pause, and then, maybe rock the knees, or perhaps it's happy baby. Do what's right for you. We will do one more. If you know that the two you've done is more than you ever hoped to do today, perfect. If you can do one more, pick either of the variations that you did, or if there's some of you who do go up into the full wheel, by all means, just set your foundation, take yourself up, and follow the rhythm of your breath. Make sure there's strength and ease in the body. When you come down slowly, mindfully, with control. Always remembering that you are doing something that's causing you great pain, great discomfort. It's a good time to stop and check in and just ask yourself why. You start to learn to do that within your life. You can extend the legs up if you like. Maybe that's enough. Some of you may want to open the legs to this strong V position, tipping the chin down, having that natural curve. If your shoulders don't bother you, you may want to interlace your fingers behind your head. Bring your torso up, open your elbows. Breathe here. Bring yourself back down, pause. Bring yourself back up. Extend the arms through the legs, shoulders down, chin down to lengthen the neck. Then you bring the torso down, the arms up, the legs together. You either lower the arms to the side or lower the arms to the floor overhead. You either bend the knees and lower the feet to the floor, then stretch the legs out, or you press out strongly through the heels. You may find that you want to come back up, but if you are feeling it in your back, you know that you need to change what you're doing. One more time, if you like. Breathing if the legs are up. You might want to release into, perhaps you do a little blanket or something under your head or neck here. Then release your feet to the floor. Stretch your legs out as tight as you can. A big, long, loud, letting go exhalation. Repeat that one more time. And then find your way into whatever position is comfortable for you for Shavasana. Whether that's on your back with the knees bent, whether it's on your back with your legs straight, maybe a bolster under the knees, legs up the wall. This time is all about you, and it is time that we often talk ourselves out of taking.
Remember, show yourself some moments of loving kindness every day, and it is so much easier to extend that kindness out to the rest of the world. Come back to that place of I am breathing in, I am breathing out. I breathe in positive healing thoughts. I breathe out what I really don't need to hold on to. I allow my body to soften, my mind to clear. I try to welcome these moments of stillness. Slowly allow movement back into the body. Just allowing that movement to return as you need it, whether it's bending the knees, rocking, staying right where you are, or perhaps rolling over to one side, supporting your head for just a breath or two. Finding your way back to a comfortable seated position. Putting a smile on your face, sealing your hands at heart center. Taking a long positive breath in, a long positive breath out. Thank you for sharing your time and your practice with me today. And as Gerda would say, make it a good day. Namaste.